up to you, how you handle it. Okay, so that is one of the biggest issue in this. I will not go inside.
Sir, VC sir has
joined.
joined.
Yeah, BC sir is joined. Okay.
Samir, hello, sir.
Sir. Sir, Akash is there. Okay. I already discussed that I had a discussions with you, and EC Council got certain very interesting features for our university, for other university, other colleges also. They have certain plan. They got a kind of a faculty development program. They got a students program, free webinar, and if everything going in a right direction, they want to do some what's it called, that kind of a center of excellence also in our university. So, and sir, EC Council is big. I told you last discussions also that throughout the globe, maybe 70% real professional of cybersecurity is by EC Council. I know them many years, less probably 10, 12 years. I know their, that strength and other things, but unfortunately, they are not concentrating in India. But other countries, they're pretty good in US and other part, they are pretty good. So now he is with you. If you ask us, we can start. If you give that permission, we can start it, sir.
Yes, you start it. Kindly start it.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Shirevshi.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this fireside chat on security and forensic science with two eminent educationists and bridging the gap between education, job, and technology skill for the digital age. We have with us Professor Shoykot Moitro, a renowned academician, Professor Dr. Shoykot Moitro, Vice Chancellor of the Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University of Technology, West Bengal. He is a chartered chemical engineer and fellow of the Institute of Engineers, India. He has filed 2 patents, authored 3 books, and 3 book chapters. Professor Moitro has received the S.S. Bhatnagar Memorial Award for the year 2018-19 for his contribution to research in the field of chemical engineering and technology. Professor Moitro will be speaking with Mr. Akash Agarwal, the Regional Director of IMEA EC Council. As Regional Director of India, the Middle East and Africa, Mr. Agarwal is responsible for leading the EC Council's business operations in information security training and certifications for business acceleration. He's also responsible for managing all the direct businesses for EC Council globally. Over a career spanning more than 23 years, he has built capacity, established footprint, and created awareness in the field of information technology and specifically information security. He loves teaching and interacting with students. He is also taught in various universities as visiting faculty and has been advisor to several startups. An IIM Ahmedabad alumnus, Mr. Agarwal holds a degree in mechanical engineering and an MBA in marketing and finance. He is based in Hyderabad, India. This session will be moderated by Professor Samir Mukherjee. He has 30 years of experience in technology and communication teaching, research, and industry implementation. He has been working on the possibilities of combining digital media and education with emerging technologies like OTT, IoT, cloud computing, AR, VR, MR, XR, and cybersecurity. Over to Professor Mukherjee.
Thank you. Greetings from MAKAUT. Respected Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Shoykot Moitro sir, Honorable Sri Akash Agarwal sir from EC Council, respected faculty members and guests, gentlemen and ladies. And my dear students, a very, very pleasant afternoon. Uh, Beforehand, I'm giving you puja wishes. It's an incredible, unique program, a fireside chat on cybersecurity and forensic science with two eminent educationists. Before jumping into it deeply, let me share some incidents. Around a decade back, I was attending Interpol Summit in Singapore. You know, all global leaders were discussing about the different technologies pertinent to cybersecurity. But trust me, it was not for me. The terminologies they used, the concepts, the technologies, every single thing was absolutely new to me. I was very surprised. I realized that there is a huge gap. It is not over. It, it is just really sad that during the last year's summit too, scenario had not changed significantly. We're still in infancy. Probably the same gap is there today too. Why I'm saying so, in a prominent newspaper, just few days back, couple of weeks back, there are two insertion in the same day. One is some conmen of Jamtara gang were arrested. They were connected with major cybersecurity issues, according to Ghaziabad Police Department. On the same day, in another news insertion, they mentioned that small news that China is watching over 10,000 eminent Indians for a hybrid warfare, including our PM, our president, big industrialists, film personalities, all these people. Now tell me, which one comes under cybersecurity? I deeply believe that the great stalwarts today present here would have enlightened us with their thoughtful insights in this world of cyberscape. Let me take the pleasure of welcoming Honorable VC Sir, Professor Dr. Shaikat Mitra, Honorable Sri Akash Agarwal Sir from EC Council to take over the session. Over to you, sir.
Should I start first?
Yeah.
Yes, Professor
Yeah.
Shekhar. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, Samir.
Okay, so the discussion is quite, this important in this sense that cybersecurity, particularly in the context of COVID and this pandemic scenario, this importance has become, this significant and visible because you see in this particular context, in the last 4 or 5 months, most of us and many of us, we have become more this comfortable and more this habituated in handling digital tools, digital techniques, and using these internet facilities for almost all of our activities in the period of these lockdowns and all these things that most of us either this placing our these orders for all these grocery items, even for dress materials through this. Even I've seen in my family it's happening. Earlier last year it was not there. They used to go outside. They used to go to shopping mall. They used to take this go for shopping. This is the puja time and this is a festive time. But right now, what I am observing as a this common man that. People are using their mobile phone. They are getting OTP. They are, this Amazon is delivering items and all this. That they are ordering foods from Swiggy, Uber Eats, booking cabs. This Uber culture and Ola culture was already there, but it has increased in this particular time. And then medical consultancy, particularly e-health and all these things that have come in a big way. And there are two views that regarding this pandemic scenario. Some people are talking that this will be this overcome in near future, and again we'll be able to see the normal life. And some people are talking about this new normal. This situation will be continued, and we have to live with this. So the point is there, that means this digital techniques, handling of digital tools and techniques, that has become a part of our life, and it will be, this more, it will be more and more of a part of our life. And for in this context, as everything, I have, this stopped going to bank for many, these months. And not only me, people like of my, this last 6 months, going to bank only when this day, 2 3 days before. My wife, this was interested to visit her, this deposit at the lockers and all these things. So I had to accompany her. I was, this terrified seeing these big queues in front of this bank. And people are not, as everyone, they are operating with suboptimal staffs, minimum numbers of staffs, going to all these places now. And as for this, as far as this physical distancing and social norms is concerned, we have to maintain this distance, all these things. So lots of paraphernalia is involved. So I thought, this is no way. Let us go back, and whatever transaction, all these things, we have to follow this SBI online systems and online systems of other banks. But going to bank now, even our wild dream, we cannot now conceive. So this is the situation now. And at the same time, we are getting many phone calls in my name, personally my name, and in the name of many of the vice chancellor. In the last 2 3 months, fake emails is being circulated to these many people claiming for favors, or this some Amazon gift vouchers, all these things. And it is not a one-time phenomena. For my case, I know my all the Professor Shumir Mukherjee, as he is associated with my university, knows that for my case, in the last 4 months, it happened 3 times. And it is happening to my this colleague vice chancellors and other celebrities also. So this is just an initiation. The thing is this: the world is moving. This economy in the last 4 5 6 months have drastically been affected. Resources have become this more and more scarce. And in our Indian context, worldwide, the situation was that population is increasing, pressure on these resources was becoming more and more. But in the last 4 5 months, as everything has been hampered and affected, so the pressure is more. And as there is scarcity, there is crisis. So all these types of force will come up in a bigger way. And there's Jamtara gang, the gangs from other places, other parts, other countries. That will be, and this inter-country conflict because of this issues only. Why China, India, other countries, these geopolitical, why they are fighting with, because of this resource, because of this water, because of this this marine lives. Only maybe 2 days before, you have seen that China sent one troop to take all these marine, these items from near one islands, and that place is now suffering from great biodiversity damage. So all these will be, this is the nexus. This is the nexus of this scarcity. This is of this our population growth, and our this our this, as technology is improving, so we are becoming more and more habituated in comfortable life. We have increasing our this lifestyle standard of living and all these things, that emergence of middle class cultures, more comfortable lives. All these are interrelated, and the outcome of all these things is these types of activity will always be there. Cyber security now, because the cyber is now controlling everything. Cyber physical systems, be it healthcare, be it entertainment, be it banking transaction, be it personal life, everywhere it is connected. So this is now an easy option to attack it. And for that, this will happen. This will happen in more and more, this the magnitude will more in near future. Now, how to combat this? And you see, there will be, I believe that there will be a relentless, this fight between the cyber warriors and the cyber, these unethical hackers. So all these things will happen, and we have to work on that. We have to train people. We have to give knowledge people. We have to make people more aware. We have to develop right sort of skill for our new generation. From my university, I can say in the last 2 3 years, we have initiated many programs, academic programs, be in the formal certificate courses, diploma courses, postgraduate diploma, BSc program, MTech programs in cyber security. Because of this, we are assessing the requirement of the future in consultation with our partners like CDAC, like TCG, like Government of West Bengal IT Wing. So we are assessing the market, and we are seeing that there is a demand. As there is a demand, for there is a career opportunity. So we are trying to develop human resources. So we have to work on that direction. And my observation is these types of cyber threats, cyber crimes, that will be more and more in near future. So we have to prepare for that. Not only the individual, but in the form of this country to country conflicts and all these things that will happen. That is the writing on the wall. We have to get prepared, be prepared for that, and let us whatever is in our hand. In our hand is only we can share our knowledge, we can use our wisdom and vision, we can ask and pledge to the people for doing the right things and getting the right skill for handling all these things. So that we have to do to the best possible extent. This is my submission for this time being.
Thank you, Professor. And Professor Saket, once again, a good afternoon to you, and thank you very much for having me here on this fireside chat. And I could not have agreed more with you. I mean, this is absolutely spot on, whatever you've said. And I have been dealing with various agencies around the world, and my job primarily includes workforce development for various organizations and military and defense forces around the world in the field of information security. And when you talk about new normal, which means that possibly you are working from home, and so is Samir working from home, and so I'm working from home, which means earlier we were working from our offices and all of us were in one location. Now we are distributed everywhere. So you know how vulnerable our Wi-Fi's or our systems are. So the things have changed in the new normal. And as an educationist, we all must understand, and as people who are grooming the young children to take up those challenges, to take up the new jobs out there, a lot has changed in information security from pre-COVID times. I would say that I think the cybersecurity domain or the cybersecurity field is being rewritten all over again. See, you would have heard about FISMA, HIPAA, ISO 27001, all those compliances that various industries, whether it is banking, financial services, and insurance, or healthcare, or any other any industry, who hire people from your university, they are taking them up. But the curriculum that we were teaching so far now needs a massive update, because the policies that I mentioned, the HIPAA, FISMA, and so on, will have to be redrafted. You know why? Because we are not going to go back to 2019 days. I mean, when we post-pandemic, we will not be in the same pre-pandemic days. So which means when the whole protocol or the domain is being rewritten, which means the jobs will change, which means the curriculum that we are studying, it will change. The new job roles will come. Now, you were talking about Jamtara gang and also about certain, how people are impersonating you, or people are doing phishing attacks on you. Now, let us say I do a bit of spoofing and I call Samir from your mobile phone without you knowing into it, and I give him 2 missed calls. Imagine this, visualize this a bit. And then I call from someone else's mobile phone that, Samir, can you just transfer a lakh of rupees to this particular account? And since he saw that I'm in the middle of, kind of my phone has conked off and I couldn't, and Samir just saw that something is this, and I just texted him from some other mobile and he'll transfer it there. Such kind of social engineering is happening all the time these days. How do we take care of what kind of infrastructure that we will use, and so on and so forth? There are new job roles that have come in. There are new policies which are coming in. Now, for example, we just heard that in the US, the second presidential debate was canceled because President Trump was tested positive. He was offered a virtual summit. He said, no, I'm not going to do, for the reasons known in public. And he canceled it. Now, imagine a couple of days before the election, a prominent face from one of the factions, it comes up and says something, revealing something negative about, and the election gets affected. You would have heard about something called deep fake, where you can, kind of impersonate the face also. Or maybe this is not Akash who's speaking, this is someone else who's talking about here. And I talk all nonsense in front of the entire crowd which is present here. Think about it. Deep fake. So new job role in post-pandemic era is coming up as deep fake analysts. Now, who's going to teach? Now, if you look at it, you're teaching them big data, you're teaching them artificial intelligence, augmented reality, and so on. But deep fake involves a lot of AI in it. Now, when AI is there, when those IoTs are there, and Professor Samir was talking about OTs, think about it that we need a person who has the knowledge of AI, IoTs, OTs, and cybersecurity, because this is a guy who will be a cybersecurity expert who will do that deep fake analysis. Now, think about it. Digital identity. Professor Saikat, you sign a document, and you are a very, very important person in academic circles in India. If you sign a document, how valuable it is. Now, you're sitting at home. You cannot sign a physical document and fax it somewhere or something like that. You'll digitally sign. There will be a new job role which is coming up. And my words, these are the new job roles in 6 months to 1 year. You're going to find it. Digital identity officers. This is a new job role which is coming up. Then for example, we are implanting a lot of devices. I got my root canal done and I had a dental implant here. Gone are those days when people used to have artificial dentures and so on. People are putting implants. It's so easy, 45 minutes done. Those implants, if you are vice chancellor, sir, and you're so important, if there is a CEO of an organization, I could actually implant something here, something here, something here, anywhere. You're wearing so many gadgets on your, there would be a new job role which will be implanted device guardian, and so forth. So new policies, new domains, new job roles. Is our academic world ready with the curriculum that is required to train them in this? Now, add to this so much of layoffs that is happening. So whoever goes in first would be done. Now, imagine your people would be coming out in 2020 or 2021 into the job market, and those guys who are already out there being furloughed, they add up to all to the job market. The people are required. And my last point from this particular thing is, pre-pandemic, we require, if there were 100 people required in the job market, 10 were cybersecurity. According to one of the statistics which is publicly available, there are 20 required, which means the number of jobs required in cybersecurity has doubled. So it is like if it was 10 earlier out of 100, now it is 20 out of 100. New job roles, new policies, double the number of people who are required in cybersecurity. So you are absolutely right, and I support it completely, that we need people who are well versed with technology and very, very quickly. So it's a very, very timely effort from the MAKAUT, the university here. So tell me, sir, what do you think
Yeah,
about
so
this?
you see, I am quite aware of this deepfake analysis and all these emerging professions which are going to happen in the domain of cybersecurity. This, you see, this today getting information and knowledge is not so difficult propositions. Every day I am getting lots of information like this, and I also try to update myself. You know, this taking up all these types of information, writing blogs, reading blogs, going through all these articles, and even taking up different types of these audit courses in the MOOCs platform. I can tell you this. Let us put out different, this different things. As per the facts and figures are concerned, NASCOM survey says we need almost 5 lakh cybersecurity professionals right now in India. Problem is, in Indian context, it is not Israel, it is not Singapore, it is India. We have to think everything in the context of India. So India is a different type of country. We have so disparity and diversity. So we can think of these different types of program, different types of academic situation. We can invite people, but the question is affordability. Because you see, there are certain institutes in India also, in Indian education system also. We have seen you can do your undergraduate programs with 16 lakhs package. You can do your undergraduate program that was with 3 lakh package. We can do your this master degrees with this 16 to 18 lakhs in public systems, in many places 2 to 3 lakhs. The questions of this affording these different sorts of professional organizations integrated with university systems to make the students more practically skillful in this area is a difficult proposition for public system till now, because in Indian education systems, this right now 3.6% of GDP is being spent. That's why this front crunch is always there. And private systems, you see, we have different layers of this in a society. This upper middle class, they can only afford these private systems. From there, they are this getting these sorts of these trainings to some extent. And of course, our top universities and institutes like IITs who are getting abundance of public funds from the government. But situation is not like that everywhere. Even then, we have to continue our activity. So right now, what I believe, I believe to this to develop ourselves in a step-by-step manner. Immediately, what we have planned in the last 2-3 years, we introduced different programs and we invited different organizations whom we could afford and the professionals who could afford for training of our students. Because in our cases, for public systems, our system, this our most the objective is mostly this service rendering, not profit making. Therefore, whatever this cost and all these things, we try to cover through our education, through self-financing mode. Most of the times it doesn't happen, and that puts pressure on exchequer also. Now this emerging career and all these things, this is quite evident. This will happen in near future. But at the same time, what I am observing, as there are plethora of resources available and online platforms in the forms of open courseware and MOOCs, many of our students, they upgraded their knowledge and skills through these online platforms in cyber security. I have seen that many universities, they are offering these lots of programs and so courses, and the audit part of this courses is absolutely free. And when they are coming to our system, I have seen many of our students, they are this more skilled and more experts of many of our these faculty members in handling these problems of cyber security. Now we need to of course there is always a requirement. Now cyber security itself as a branch now is coming up in engineering education, and that is a part of our computational science programs. We had BTech, MTech in IT, computer science. Now we are introducing BTech in IT, cyber security and artificial intelligence. If we look at documents of India, Cyber Information, this Information Act 2000, that was a primary law dealing with cyber crime and digital commerce in the country. Now that was formed in 2000, revised in 2008, and came into force, in 2009. But even now, NITI Aayog published their document. They published AI policy, artificial intelligence policy for healthcare, for agriculture, for social sectors, for entertainment. But for cyber security policy from our government system has not yet come up. So we are, and when that will come up, and when we will have more fund, this, then we can also, engage ourselves in, this more activities in cyber security. Right now, our next stage of planning is we want to create a center for cyber security with support from government agencies, and to make it a center of excellence in collaboration with different organizations. We need good researchers. See that government of India, they are engaged in good research in cyber security. So they are our partner now studying. In that way, we are doing our networking and collaboration with government organizations and private organizations whom we could, this afford and we could attract to our system. As for TCG cyber security system is with us. And in this way, we are expanding ourselves. And by these systems, we are trying to develop, these numbers of, this young generation, young professionals who can handle all this. Who can, this take up this future job roles. Not only, you see this the deep fake and all these things. I'm telling you, when this driverless car will be coming, management of this driverless car will be requiring a different sets of cyber, these professionals, because anyone can, this hack these systems and can cause this, this catastrophic situation in the roads and, this any sorts of, this attack on any places. So with each and every technology development, even with AR, VR, when this is coming up, and there is also, this integrations of these things with cyber security threats. So all the technology, which even digital 4.0, everything is based on digital threats and all these things. Manufacturing systems that can be hampered. Industry 4.0, basic tenets of Industry 4.0, this automation and all these things that can be hampered by cyber attacks. So cyber security professions will be emerging at different areas. And that is the most inevitable things. With each and every development of technology, there will be cyber challenges, because this technology, whatever is being developed, these are all, this taking into consideration digital technology, digital processes, and artificial intelligence, data science, blockchains, all these things. And that's why the questions of cyber security professionals, along with that, as professions will come up, and that will happen. But we need lots of this investment, lots of these experts with us to make the requirement of the entire country fulfilled. Because for our who are residing in metropolis, at at least at certain level of awareness and knowledge, for us you see many things maybe we know, maybe we know that how to protect ourselves to some extent. But those who live at tier 2 city, tier 3 city in rural areas, they do not know. And they are the most vulnerable part now, because for them also many things are going to happen in digital platform. So that's why and this is the population of 130 crore. This considering the vastness of all these things, the heterogeneity, the scarce of funds, all these things, this is a challenging scenario. Even then, we have to work hard. We have to make it happen. We have to generate professionals, and so that in a networking way or integrated way or stage wise, we can take up all these problems. All on a sudden, we cannot, this compete with Israel, we cannot compete with Singapore or other countries. But we have to work in that direction. Even our government, I think they are also trying to collaborate with different countries to get these latest tools and techniques, this cyber security for equipping this military and administration, all these things. We are also trying to work with the different, this organizations within our ambit and within our affordability.
Sir, just one thing I would like to differ here. When you say that we cannot compete with other countries, I have had an opportunity to work with all these people from all these countries, and I'm being an Indian and educated here and grown up here. So, what I have seen is we are 135 crore. Good news is we are good at maths, and we've been into IT. A full 2-3 generations have been into IT since beginning of 90s, early 90s. So that gives us an edge. Now, talking about capacity building and center of excellence thing that you're talking about. So what we have done from our organization and personally for last 8 to 10 years, what I've been doing being in EC Council is, so let's take, we're talking about online education. We're talking about talking like this as if we were sitting in front of us, saves us a lot of time and effort and so on. But look at this. Cybersecurity has been a hands-on thing. Now, what we did, we developed all these cyber ranges and, remotely proctored exam and educating it remotely, and a lot of lab exercises, a lot of capture the flag or hackathons, everything online, which means that even if the students are sitting at home, they can study cybersecurity the way it has to be done. So the new job roles, the new domains can study from home. Don't waste your time. You've been sitting at home from March 15th onwards, and I don't know till when you'll sit at home, the students actually. So utilize this time, get into one of the curriculums and get into one of the center of excellences. India did come with a cybersecurity policy way back in 23 when Kapil Sibal, I guess, was the HRD or IT minister or HRD minister of both. They came up with in 2013. But then recently it was announced that they are coming up with another updated cybersecurity policy. You'll see all these things into it. The idea is that affordability that you were talking about, accessibility you were talking about. So accessibility is online, sit at home, normal Wi-Fi, you can connect, no problem. Affordability. Now, a program that is offered at, say, $3,000 out there in the US can be offered at, say, $300 here in India. And the two programs are of the same quality. Why would anyone do that? Because the kind of people who are here in India, they are so, it's so easy for them to grasp things because of the way they are brought up, because the way university education system or whatever it is, you know it much better than what I would, but that's my empirical data that I have that says that, okay, we can catch up really, really fast. So if it is made affordable, if the same technology which is available to the United States or Israel or any other country for that matter is available at your home, I think there's no point that someone cannot, kind of grow up and do it. And now when a confluence of AI and all these technologies also coming in, I think it's a great opportunity for all of us, whether the government comes up or not. I don't know, because I'm pretty agnostic as far as these policies, etc., are concerned. Because being a part of an organization like the way I work in, it's our responsibility to ensure that there are enough curriculum, the certification, etc., is available out there, because you need recognition also. And if you keep waiting for various government, because we are present in 190 plus countries, and if you keep waiting for the government, it's going to take a lot of time. And I've seen in universities around the world who've come forward. We've tied up with 1,800 plus universities around the world where we are offering such programs. same program, different rates depending on the GDP, depending on the per capita income of that particular country. I personally am monitoring a lot of them. So I think it's a great opportunity, and I see a sink in the way your thought process is. I'm really happy here that what I'm listening to. So I guess that's precisely why Professor Samir thought that let's sit down and chat about this, and and I see that these, when you talk about affordability and accessibility, it's pretty much there, and the new technology is available at your doorstep.
Okay, if it is philanthropic contribution, we have no problem. I am ready to, eager to embrace it. But when it is priced, then you see for government system or public system, it is not easy to take a unilateral decision all on a sudden to, this take up a certain tools and techniques. There are lots of paraphernalia involved. Recently, I am telling our experience. One of these US-based world-class online course provider, they approached us. They are the world giant in online course making and online course selling from different universities. The thing is that the price, whatever you mentioned, that maybe $1,000 for US, $300 for India, same thing is happening. But even then, the question for affordability comes, people are skeptical, people are not that much ready. You see, we did lots of this mental, this mental orientation in that particular directions in embracing the new things. Because in Indian situation, as this was the concept of this welfare state concept. So till now, we are not in a position to, this take any new things without any questions or without any, these skepticisms and all this. And lots of stakeholders are involved. That is the main things. Immediately, we are discussing and you are offering that you are this technology. You, as a vice chancellor, you come and sign and I will give you this technology with this pricing. We cannot do it. We have lots of layers of, these decision makers are there. So we have to convince, we have to take it. Otherwise, in public, private system, it's easy. Had you been this approach to any public, private organization, they could have taken up. That's why I'm telling you, for private systems, this is expensive and this is affordable to those few people who can pay for that. For our system, public systems, as I'm dealing with public universities with these large numbers of these texts and all these things, they are doing this. I'm telling you one example from Mahabharata. That will be these comparable stories. There was a this in the epic battle of Mahabharata in the ninth day. There was a fierce fight between Bhishma and Arjuna. The first, Arjuna struck Bhishma. His chariot trembled, this 100 years back, and then there was this decorum of fight. So then he pulled himself up, and then he came back to fight again. And he, when hit Arjuna, his chariot only pushed by 3 steps. Lord Krishna clapped for Bhishma. Arjuna asked, what was the reason? I pushed him 100 years and he pushed me only 3 steps and you are clapping for him. What is the reason behind it? This is the reference frame and this is the context. For telling that you see he is at an old age. You are your prime time. With you, I am sitting at your chariot with the entire this weight of the universe. This Hanuman Lord is sitting at the top of the chariot. With this force also he could move. So that's why the significance of public systems is to make 1%, this progress. We have to take 100%, this effort. We have to give 100% effort. That is not the problem for public private entrepreneurs and all these things. That is my point. So therefore, you see, you can come up with different proposals, and Professor Somen Mukherjee knows to make it mature, to make it implemented, how much effort we have to take. There are lots of this. First is affordability is there. Second is mental orientation and culture for embracing new things without any hesitation and questions, because many people and third is these numbers of these layers of where this decision ultimately will come and convert to a single point. So there are lots of things up there. Even then we have to work. But I'm optimistic always. You see that there in India system you have from IIM, this management also this disparity, the public systems comparison of private systems. This always will be there, but we have to work in that direction. Incrementally, we can move. Immediately, if we come with these lots of proposals and lots of fund involvement, we cannot do anything because we have to take this many concurrence from many this, our stakeholders, including the government also. But that's why first our strategies we take the help of government organizations. There is no problem. Second is those organizations who are affordable and who are not that much expensive. Third is those who are, second is those who are philanthropic. Third is those are not so expensive. And fourth is those who are expensive, maybe in an incremental manner or stage by stage manner with them, not compromising with the quality. So these are the strategies we follow for making any program implemented.
I understand, and I completely agree. You would appreciate that I've spent my 3 decades in this industry and in India itself. So I understand the Indian system, and I will be more than happy to be of any help as far as this is concerned. So, as far as kind of helping get more and more students educated and trained in this cybersecurity. Uh, the thing that I would like to kind of mention it here as one of the, since it's a point of discussion here, that in this changing world, I'm fortunate to be, in a place which in an industry which is growing at such a breakneck speed. And I was able to, in last 6 months, my transformation from whatever the pre-pandemic to the post-pandemic has, I mean, while the pandemic is still going on, has been so much that the kind of revolution I've seen in people, the kind of revolution I've seen in industry, because when I passed out in 94, from my engineering college, I remember the IT hadn't come yet. The Yahoo was still considered to be, kind of some kind of telnet, and we used to connect in my college there. And Gmail was not there. Most of these things were not there. And I've seen that era. Then we saw the Y2K issues. Then we saw the dot-com burst, and then now this is another one. So I think that this is another revolution which is going to create millions and millions of jobs. Let's be ready, and we are pretty resilient as far as any systems are concerned. And as I've said that I think the students today should be pretty optimistic, because I see a lot of
Yeah.
skepticism in people who are coming out. What will happen to me if I pass out? Are there enough jobs for me? So they're worried. I've been sitting at home for 6 months. The classes are online. The professors are coming, not coming. All kinds of things are happening. I've not met my friends. There's a bit of depression, but I see a lot of massive opportunities which are coming in here. And the students, from the message to the students from me would be that they should be super optimistic, because after I saw all those things that came in, say Y2K generated so much of jobs, then dot-com bust was there, dot-com boom was there, that created a lot of jobs, and then these data analytics and AI and cybersecurity, now this. So I think it's just that we have to shift our frame of mind, think that this is another opportunity instead of thinking that there is a problem. So I see that for students it's going to be a big benefit, because new jobs are coming in. So there's no point thinking that the things are going down. So I'm sure at your level you would be pretty optimistic about how the things are going to shape up. And since you are closer to your students, I'm
Yes.
sure this message would be passed on to them.
Right, right. In the last year, I was telling, last two to 3 years, particularly from 18 onwards, we introduced from university. This is for the first time, probably perhaps in West Bengal, we introduced BSc and MSc program in cybersecurity, in network security, MTech program in cybersecurity, DCA with cybersecurity honors, lots of certificates, diploma, and so many courses now we introduced in the last 2 3 years only in cybersecurity, that these many other universities, I do not know that whether other universities in eastern part of India can match with us. We have introduced many courses for the benefit of the students. Second thing is, what is this for other engineering program also, we wanted to make this engineer, because one top of skill to be developed for these engineering programs, making these students comfortable in taking up programs in cyber, in courses in cyber security from these carefully chosen programs by our faculty members. And from that programs, what are happening for engineering discipline, other engineering discipline, the students are taking a certain programs in cyber securities, and they are getting credit for that. So in that way, we put a lot of this emphasis and a lot of this focus on cyber security, because we know this is the situation. Data science, cyber security, artificial intelligence, or machine learning, blockchain, these are our thrust area now. Cyber security is one of our thrust area. we are trying to now, the problem is now, this is the, what we are quite correct, that problem is now getting this right type of resource persons for giving these types of skill, this skill imparting trainings, or giving these types of, this things. We try our level best to invite people from different multinational organizations, from TCS, from this PwC, from other organizations, to act as our visiting faculties, act as our guest faculties, to share their knowledge, to organize different types of webinars and training programs. Right now, just now, before joining these programs, I was at another programs on cyber security. We have our, this one partner university, that's Islamic University of Science and Technology. Along with them, we have organized, this is the, today is the 10th webinar on cyber security. We are organizing in the last, these 2 months, 10 webinars on cyber security, inviting professors from France, from, Spain, from Italy, from many other parts of the country. We assembled them. They gave lectures for our students. So all these lectures been recorded, and so in that way we are trying our level best to make our students, our knowledge community, by this more comfortable, more knowledgeable in cyber security. Now this the Center for Cyber Security, which we are going to we are planning to establish. That was this 2-3 years before that plan. That was the plan of concept, that plan. For that purpose, we are seeking fund from the central government as well as from state governments, and there we want to make this conglomerations of all these professionals for doing this, for guiding researches, for taking up different types of programs, and for dedicated for all these cutting edge technologies in cybersecurity, all these things. So that is our now major planning. Let us see if in near future, if everything goes in right direction, we will be able to set up all these things. And if we get your support on all these things, in all these activities, that will be helpful for us also in making this. We are now, for our systems, there are this almost 2 lakh students are involved every year. Around 50,000 students are passing out from our university system. So if at least 10% of that can be properly, equipped with the cybersecurity knowledge, then we can produce a significant numbers of professionals in near future. That is our target. So let's take this, pledge, and take this, so that we can generate at least several thousands professionals within coming 2-3 years. That will very much required. By 2024, Industry 4.0 cycle will be over. Industry 5.0 will start, and by that time, this is the this predictions of many of the pundits. But the thing is now, we have to make ourselves more prepared for this changing scenario, because many manufacturing setup is coming in India because of the geopolitical situations, and there are lots of cybersecurity professionals required in manufacturing sector itself. And at the same time, you see our entire financial things, financial transactions, everything, for that, for these banking systems, for all these things, we need these numbers of cybersecurity professionals, cyber forensic. And this is also a very good thing for us. We introduced a course in forensic science in the last year, or BS and MS in forensic science, and cyber forensic is one of the digital forensic, and cyber forensic is a part of it, and we are getting good response from this. And government agencies are approaching us for giving training to their personnel in cyber security and cyber forensic, digital forensic, and all these things. So this, in that way, at least we have created a little bit awareness among the society, among the students, regarding the importance of cyber security. We are hopeful. Let us see in near future how best we can utilize our networking, our collaborations, our this interaction, integrations with other agencies to make it more formidable. So, and we will be very happy that if we get your support also in all these activities.
So for sure, and I'm happy that I could speak to you today, because all your affiliated institutions and colleges who are there related to MAKAUT, we will be happy to offer some free resources. And in the most important thing that we feel in building up the capacity is having the right kind of instructors or trainers or teachers who could impart that thing. Because if the teachers are not there, every other thing will not work. You might have books, you might have rooms, you might have online, offline, whatever. So we can kind of offer you all the free resources that we have. so that we can help you in building up wherever you are lacking in terms of, the way you said that the chariot moves, it's a heavy thing. So heavy weights move slow, but steady. I understand that. So whatever resources we have, for example, providing you free train the trainer, providing you resources which are available out there for us with us. So very, very quickly we can turn it around. As you said that we're pretty agile being in the private sector, and we can kind of turn things really, really quickly. So in case you think that all the affiliated institution 200 plus that you have, if you want them to have one or two cybersecurity professors in each one of them, we can facilitate that very, very quickly. So that will not be a problem. So this is something that I can immediately announce it here. Secondly, we can run certain, kind of those sessions which are very informative, not just from the point of your information providing, but also, say, for example, you were talking about Jamtara gang who used to, kind of send you a link, phishing, impersonating, and all that. We can run a security awareness sessions for which is completely free. Of course, usually we charge that. So those things just to, kind of motivate people internally in your system. I see that you have the inclination, but of course there is a process, there is a procedure that you're supposed to follow, and I completely respect that. And we'll be offering whatever we can, and really, really glad to be able to speak to you today.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Professor Somir Mukherjee. Kindly act from our part and organize these types of, this awareness building up camp, engaging Mr. Agarwal and his team for the benefit of our society. So, Professor Somir Mukherjee, can you hear us?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you take now this from our side. You take this agenda ahead, so that
Exactly.
we can have more awareness building camp for our society, engaging Mr. Agarwal. And near future, we'll see how best we can get ourselves, this integrated network.
Certainly, sir. Sir. So, means yes, we do not have much time also in our hands. So, do you want me to conclude it?
Yeah,
So,
control.
what we can do now, both the speakers got different kind of concept, different kind of insights, but I'm just taking from one from Sir, VC Sir, another from Akash Sir. Okay, and I'm asking these two things to both the speakers. First thing, VC Sir told that yes, we are frustrated with the fake mail and all this. I got a kind of inputs in this, Akash, okay? And you just keep these things in your mind that I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just giving you some clue and I need a solution because of this is a very, very nuisance kind of a things. And these things happen for probably uh, within last 4 or 5 months, maybe 4 or 5 times. And the letter from VC sir, we just can't withstand these things, okay? Now, the interest means what's my input or what's my insight in this, that whenever we do a kind of a course or something from outside, people, small team, they are giving us that gimmick, okay, you give your email ID, okay, I'm using your machine only. It's not my machine. I'm using your machine. And, see, that mail is in different name. Okay, afterwards this problem comes because they got all these things, IP and everything. Okay, now do you think that this Frankenstein kind of education system in cybersecurity is seriously giving us this trouble, or there is some mistakes from our part? Question is to Akash to clarify this and to give a relief to our VC sir. I also got a question from your end to VC sir.
So your question is that whatever is happening, the bad things that are happening around us, is it because of the education that we are providing? Is that what your question is?
Not here. I told you that the small education part is there. Who can ask, give your mobile phone. Okay, I will send an SMS to you and you will see that some other name is there. That is your mobile. So it's a kind of a gimmick. Okay, and it goes to the student's mind that, oh my God, it's a beautiful things. then they are asking for, cyber security education. It is
So,
not cyber security.
sorry to interrupt, but is your question that they are so fascinated with this that they are going in and then they'll learn and then they'll steal a password?
Yep, yep, correct, correct.
I
Yeah.
have a very simple answer for it. So my son is studying medicine here, right? So he's in second year MBBS, and maybe some years later or some semesters later, he would be taught how to use a scalpel. Or
Mhm.
someone else's son would be, kind of training in military. He would be taught how to fire a gun and so on
Mhm.
or to fight. Now, should we teach them how to use a scalpel or fire a gun? Of course, yes, because they are the soldiers. They're the good
Certainly,
guys.
certainly.
That's what we assume.
Hmm.
They turn rogue, if they turn bad, it's a different issue. So it's important for each and every student to be able to identify
Yeah,
that if I am receiving a message or an email,
yeah,
right? I should see it and do this and act on it very, very appropriately. But I should not, I should learn it so that I can defend myself. That's a first step, security awareness.
hmm,
If you want to become a cybersecurity expert and be the warrior of cybersecurity for that matter, an expert in it, then you must learn it so that you can prevent the crime. You don't
certainly, certainly.
do the crime.
Exactly. Exactly. I want to come to this particular part. And is it possible to do a small FDP with our faculties, that exactly what to do, what not to do? Because of BCSS mail are coming to the faculty people only. Okay. So we can control it very easily. So do this and don't do this. Kind of.
Don't worry. I do it for thousands of people around the world, the security awareness. And
Exactly.
and there are tons of material available out there. So if
Mhm,
you teach them methodically, anyone,
mhm,
whether it's to the faculties or to the general public,
mhm.
is if taught methodically, things work out very, very well.
Fantastic. And some of your topic, I want to ask VC sir, like you said that digital identity officer, implantations auditor, kind of so many new job. So, VC sir, is it possible this kind of some lucrative, pertinent to cybersecurity course, maybe a kind of certificate course, start in our colleges? I know, or he also means everybody knows these things. We got thousand this kind of very very interesting course. Why not we start one two courses along with some big companies, like we can take EC Council help also.
No, no, cybersecurity course is always there. Cybersecurity means, you see, in the name, there's a particular, this profession we cannot design. Cybersecurity tools, techniques, there's all these programming languages that needs to
Mm.
be, you need to, this study that all these things and be a master of all this. Cybersecurity, we have, these different levels of cybersecurity training, like certificate, diploma, postgraduate diploma, degree, postgraduate degree, research, and all these things. And that all these things that can be a part of the different types of projects we can give the students, so how to this take up this scenario, particular scenario where their threat is involved, on how to this safeguard all these things. So in that way, we want to introduce more courses, because you see more programs, more capacity building, this in these programs. But within the constraint of our, this our infrastructure, our capacity, and all these things, let us see. And in that we have to plan, because our first area already we have declared, this is not only us, for the entire these education systems in engineering education. The first area now is artificial intelligence, machine learning, cyber security, data science. All this is the first area now. So in all this area, we have to give lots of emphasis. This for making more the students more knowledgeable, making imparting more skill, integrating all these things with other engineering disciplines. So that is this persistent and relentless effort. We are working on that. And the problem is, a crisis is, we need now good quality resource person. When
That
this for giving training, for giving all these things, for guiding students, for helping all this. This is this not even this is the problem of the entire country. We do not have enough number of cybersecurity experts who can undertake these types of this academic training and all these things. Those who are experts, they are working at different fields. Uh, and even in IT sectors also, you see, those who are experts, they're working in different fields. They're working with Google, Microsoft, all these things. Very few of them, they are, this US, the system is different. If you look at US, the system is all US professors, they are part of Google, Microsoft, IBM, and all these things, because many of the technology they develop. Then later on, Google take or IBM take or Microsoft take, so the Amazon take. So because they are this, they are the standard of, because everything is determined by the demand and supply. In here in US, the level of this, these professors academics, that is something different. The Stanford professors, their salary, they are earning as all these things maybe comparable to Google's, the stock price. So that is the thing. Here it is not like that. So that's why you see what is possible at US, what is possible at Israel or Singapore or Finland. In India, it is different scenario. We have to admit that, and we have to work in work keeping that in mind. So that is the thing. So with this constant of the work, and even then, you see, those who are outstanding professionals of our education systems, they go to outside. They go to serve to these different multinational organizations, all these things, and. So there is a joke. One time, one of my this friend, he narrated the story to me. The best quality of our education systems, they go to US and become this employee of different multinational organizations, and these there are those who are left out of the education system of US. They build an empire there. Those who are this that could not complete their education or were left out of the systems. So this is this difference, this mentality and style of functioning. You see, we take the case of all these successful entrepreneurs of US. Many of them, they are drop out of the education systems. And from our education systems, all the top brasses, the cream, these top, these brilliant guys, they went there and they became this employee of all these organizations. So this is the scenario, but that is the culture, that is the system. Now, this globe has not yet been homogenized in terms of culture and all these things. India has its own, this demography, diversity, and all these things. China has some other, the central control and all these things. US has some other style of functioning. It will take some more time. Maybe in near future it will happen that our social structure, social pattern, all these things, our these the salaries of the faculties compared to the salaries of executives and multinational organizations, all these things that will happen in near future. This disparity, this difference at different layers of this country, in near future that will abolish and it will come up as a this homogeneous state country. That is our this expectation and hope. Let us see.
Hope for the best. Yep. Thank you, sir. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Akash. Thanks to all the professors, all the people who help us to make it happen. Thanks
So there's
our
a question.
webinar team.
No, just I am saying, sir, I'm Rachita Bose Hajra.
But she want an opportunity. I thought that, okay, at least some question I
Suggest
will
how can I
ask.
join this team so that I can be more fruitful to the students of MAKAUT at large.
But I told you and Akash, both the guys, that 1 hour will be our limit. And that is the reason I want to stop it within 1 hour. Okay. And thanks everybody. Thanks our webinar team. And thanks goes to Anand Bazar also, because of at a time concurrently 7 different social media streaming is going on. Probably we will have a huge number of visitors there also. And thank you, sir. Thank you once again for helping us to promote this. Thank you, everybody.
It's an honor, Professor Saket. Thank you, Samir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.